Hi everyone, it's Priya again. Just thinking of Christianity and watching each one of us respond to our claim as a believer. We have really made it such a complicated thing and tend to get totally drifted away from what it's all about. Christianity has become a religion as opposed to what it is, a faith, a relationship with God. How many of us run to God when we need something? It's okay. Oh, it's my exams. I need a job. I'm lacking of cash. Um, oh, I need a marriage partner. And it's a lot of people just tend to go to God. Oh, I need healing. Go to God when they need something. And then when life is hunky dory, they're just carrying along, satisfying their wish, their will. But what God is asking from you and me is a relationship. It's about intimacy. It's about constant communication. It's how you would do when you're in love with someone, how you'd want to spend time with that person, communicate, have quality time, even if you're doing your own things, but you do it together. That togetherness is what God wants from you and me. At the end of the day, Jesus summarizes all the greatest commandments and law with two greatest commandments. He's summarizing it. It's that and more. It's no more commandments. It's no more law. It's no more do's and don'ts. It's about love. It's about loving God, and it's about loving your neighbor, and it's loving ourselves as well. That is what Christianity is essentially all about. That's what it means to be a believer, loving God and loving each other. How much of time are we spending in loving one another? How much of time are we spending in loving God? Or are we going to God for what we need? How do you feel when someone just comes to you when they need something and they forget you otherwise? That's exactly what we're doing to God when we go for me kind of a situation. Are we going to love God with all our heart, all our mind, all our soul? And as we spend time with Him, our heart begins to beat for what His heart beats for. Our heart becomes in sync for the things of God, for the things of God's plan and God's kingdom. And as our heart begins to desire that, our desires also become that He would want for us to walk on that narrow path, not on that broad path. And as our hearts begin to desire that, He gives those desires to us. We often think that whatever we want, that God will give us. But yes, if we keep being persistent, as a persistent parent would do that when a child is persistent, God would do the same. But that's not what He wants for us. At the end of the day, Jesus always went about the Father's business. And I think of the cross, of not only how it signifies God's love for you and me, that He sent His one and only Son so that you and I could have everlasting relationship with our Heavenly Father, that we could come into that intimacy, that we don't need to be at this standoffish thing, but that we could come close. And to me, that cross signifies two planks, one the vertical and one the horizontal. And the vertical is held up, the vertical holds up the horizontal plank. And the more deeper the vertical is rooted into the soil, the less likely it can fall. The deeper it goes, the lesser it can fall. That's how our relationship with God will be as well. Our love for God is like this vertical relationship, our relationship with Him. The more we are rooted in God, the more firmer this cross will stand. It doesn't matter what trials, what troubles, this cross will stand. And the more this is rooted in the ground, the more stable it is, then our relationship with each other is also better. So the relationships, how we respond to each other in situations, how we are loving one another, just is reflective of how our relationship with God is. The firmer we are rooted with Him, the more we love Him, the more we desire to love one another, because that is our calling as a believer. So what are you going to decide today? Are you going to decide to love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself? That is essentially what Christianity is. Let's get in there. Let's start loving. Bless you.